You won't believe how many dead cars I've fixed without turning a single bolt. One guy was ready to junk his ride, I nudged the gear shifter, and it roared back to life like nothing happened. Another? Swapped a $3 fuse and avoided a $500 tow. And here's the wild part, AAA responded to over 27 million roadside calls last year, and about 7 million of those were for battery-related issues alone. Most no-start calls are caused by things you can fix yourself in minutes. After 15 years in the Bay, I can tell you, most dead cars aren't actually dead. They're just throwing a tantrum. And today, I'm gonna walk you through the 5 most common no-start causes I see every week, plus a bonus tip that literally uses your ears to diagnose the issue. So if your car's acting like a paperweight, don't panic, and whatever you do, don't call a mechanic yet. Stick around, smash that subscribe, and I'll show you how to bring your car back from the dead without dropping a dime. Alright, let's start with the easiest one, the kind of mistake that'll make you feel real dumb once you spot it, but it happens more than you'd think. Fix number 1, you're not in park or holding the brake. Had a lady swear her car was dead, no crank, nothing. First thing I checked? The gear selector. She'd left it just shy of park, and the safety switch wouldn't let the ignition fire. In automatics, if you're not fully in park or neutral, the interlock system shuts everything down. This is one of the most common reasons your car won't start but has power. The system blocks ignition if it can't detect you're safely parked. A little jiggle with the key turned can wake up the sensor and get things moving. Same goes for the brake, if you're not pressing the pedal firm enough, especially on push-start cars, it won't trigger. And with manuals? That clutch better be to the floor. I once couldn't start my own car after someone moved my seat. I wasn't seated close enough to press it fully. If the dash indicator isn't showing park, try shifting to neutral and crank it there. Didn't work? Alright, next thing I always check is the battery. You'd be shocked how often this one gets overlooked. Fix number 2, dead battery or loose terminals. Had a guy come in last winter convinced his starter was toast. I popped the hood, his terminals were loose, corroded, and barely held by the clamps. One tap on the connection, and boom, headlights flickered back. Even a weak ground or bit of corrosion will kill your crank by choking off current. If your engine isn't turning over but the dash lights come on, a weak battery or bad terminal is almost always the culprit. Quick test? Turn the key and watch your lights. If they dim, your battery isn't pushing enough voltage to fire the ignition. Grab a multimeter or battery tester and check the volts. Anything under 12.4 is sketchy. If it's been draining, or the charge doesn't hold, your alternator might be slacking or you've got a short. Batteries past their lifespan, especially after a cold snap, lose energy fast. Try a jump start with real cables. If you see spark, it's time for a replacement or full recharge. And always check both positive and negative posts. A single bad connection can throw you off. So your battery checks out and you've got power, but still no crank? Then we might be looking at a classic starter issue. Fix number 3, tap the starter. Yes, really. Had a Camry come in last month, customer said it wouldn't crank, no matter what. I crawled under, gave the starter a love tap with a tire iron, and boom, ignition, first try. That motor was totally stuck, probably from a worn-out brush or a jammed gear inside. When the solenoid clicks but the gear won't engage, it's usually one of two things: bad internal contact, or it's seized in the housing. That gentle whack? It sends a quick jolt, nudges things loose, and lets it rotate again temporarily. If your car won't start but the lights work and you hear a single click, it's often a stuck or failing starter motor. Try this trick: grab a tool like a hammer, find the casing of the starter, and give it a few firm taps while someone turns the key. If it suddenly comes to life, your connection is solid, and you've confirmed the starter is failing. It's not a fix, it's a kick to make it work once more. Sometimes the current arcs just enough to get the stuck shaft to spin freely. Just don't make this your daily ritual. Eventually, no amount of tapping's gonna wake the thing up. If tapping the starter didn't bring it back to life, don't worry, we're not done yet. Electrical gremlins love hiding in your fuse box. By the way, if this is helping, hit that subscribe. I drop real-world fixes like this every week, straight from the shop. No fluff, no BS, just stuff that actually saves you time and money. Fix number 4, check your fuses and swap relays. Pop the hood, find that fuse box, and don't panic, it's not as complicated as it looks. I had a Jeep come in last week, completely dead. Power was good, starter tested fine. Guess what? A blown ignition relay. We pulled it and swapped in the horn relay using the old swap trick, and bam, car started right up. If your car won't start and there's no crank or click, a blown fuse or bad relay could be silently blocking the ignition circuit. You're looking for the box lid or panel cover with the diagram or legend inside. That tells you where every slot, relay, and fuse is hiding. No fancy tools needed, just your fingers or a little puller for those tighter spots. Check every fuse with a sight glass. If you see a burned or melted strip, it's toast. Always check amp rating too before jamming a new one in. Some relays have 4 pins, others 5, but if they match physically, they're fair game for testing. If your horn works and the ignition doesn't, use that relay to test the circuit. I always keep a few spares in my glove box just for this kind of thing. These little plastic boxes are silent killers, lose one and your whole electrical system can throw a fit. No click, no power, no start. Okay, now if everything looks good, battery, starter, fuses, and it still won't start? You might be dealing with the most annoying one of all, the anti-theft system. Fix number 5, anti-theft system lockout. A couple weeks ago, a guy swapped his battery, then called me thinking his ignition switch died. Nope, his car's anti-theft system had gone full lockdown mode. The moment power gets disconnected, the immobilizer sometimes needs to reset, and if your key fob is weak or dead, it can't send the right signal to the receiver. That little transponder chip? It talks to the ECU, and if anything's off, wrong code, wrong key, even interference from your phone, it'll disable the start sequence instantly. If your engine won't start after a battery change or your ignition suddenly stops responding, your anti-theft system could be blocking everything. Check your dashboard for any weird indicator or security light blinking. That's the module saying not today. Try a spare key. If you've got one, sometimes the main one gets out of sync or damaged. I've even seen Wont keys stop working after a replacement battery messes with the alarm memory. Some vehicles let you reprogram at home, others need a dealer tool. Either way, before you panic, try a manual unlock from the door, wait a few minutes, and then give it another shot. Weird trick? Tap the fob near the steering column. Some cars have the sensor hidden right there, waiting to decode and give you access. Still stuck? Here's a bonus tip that's helped me diagnose no-start issues in seconds just by listening. Bonus tip, listen to the clicks. Here's a quick one I use all the time, just listen. No click at all? You're dealing with something electrical, maybe a dead battery, bad connection, blown fuse, or even a broken ignition switch. But if you hear a single solid click, and still no crank, that's likely a starter or solenoid issue. A rapid or double click. Could be low power or weak signal from the relay. One time, I diagnosed a no-start just from that faint audible noise alone, saved the customer a teardown. Your ears are your first diagnosed tool, don't ignore them. Final takeaway, don't panic, diagnose smart. So if your car won't crank, won't start, or just sits there dead silent, don't call a mechanic just yet. These 5 quick checks fix the majority of no-start issues I see in the shop every week. Sometimes it's as simple as jiggling the shifter, cleaning a battery terminal, or swapping a fuse. You don't need a shop full of tools, just a little patience and a few smart tricks. Before you drop hundreds on a tow or guess at random parts, go down this list. It could save you serious money and get you back on the road in minutes. And hey, if this helped you out, make sure to subscribe for more real-world fixes from someone who's been elbow-deep in engines for years. The next time your car throws a fit, you'll know exactly what to do.